Let's go to our first story now. Farmers at Naga in the Upper East region are counting their losses following costs they incurred during spillage of the Bagri Dam. The farmers lost crops running into thousands of cities to the floods. My colleague Eva Atiboka has more.
Naga is noted for maize cultivation. Most farmers, therefore, have large swaths of maize farms. This year, however, has been bad for the farmers as they've lost most of their crops to floods. Paramount Chief of Naga Traditional Area, Naba Awuni Orlando III, cultivated 180 acres of maize, but he did not take a single grain home.
The rains this season, it has actually affected the entire community. If you look at the number of acreage or hectares, the entire community is ranging to 50,000 acres. Almost everything is off.
We decided to visit his farm, and on our way, the chief was emotional and teary. His maize had submerged in flood water for 28 days.
The way I spend, in fact, if I go to look at the farm, it's worrying. Looking at the monies you have taken from other organizations, you see, to invest in the farms, and finally you run at loss.
His son waded through the flood water and brought samples which were all rotten.
I couldn't even identify that this was my farm because everything was flooded. The whole, field was just in water.
Daniel also cultivated 120 acres of maize and also lost all to the floods. Head of Programs and Advocacy for the Peasant Farmers Association, Charles Kowe-Nyaba, has been assessing the extent of damage from the devastating floods. Charles Kowe-Nyaba is worried about food security.
In the first place, this maize, you see, when I touch it like this, you see, it's rotten. It's rotten. And then you can see molds and other things developing. And some parts, the maize are even germinating.
He wants support for the farmers ahead of the next planting season, while advocating for large dams in the Upper East and Northern regions to collect water from upstream Bagri Dam.
Now, water shortage has hit some communities in and around Bomso in Kumasi following last month's heavy rains, which cut off water supply to the area. The rains that caused havoc in the area also washed away Ghana Water and Sewage Company Limited's giant 16 inches pipeline laid over the Susan River near the family chapel. A report by Benjamin Edu.
For 1 month now, water has not been flowing through the taps in Bomso, Tek, Eija, Nsenia and other communities. The pipe that was laid by the Ghana Water Company Limited over the Susan River to supply water to the above areas were washed away by the rains, thereby cutting water supply to areas like Katago, KNUST area, and Hinsan Estate, among others. The areas hardest hit by the shortage of water was areas after the Angloga traffic towards Susansu area through Bomso and others. The pillars that hold the pipes have also been removed by the engineers of Ghana Water Company. The residents in the affected areas have over the past 1 month been living without potable water since GWCL closed the valves that supply water to the areas after the rains. Work is progressing steadily at the time of our visit to the place. The Ashanti Regional Communication Manager of the Ghana Water Company, Samson Ampa, assured residents that water will flow through their pipes next week.
The engineers have worked tirelessly day and night. Even on Sundays, they were working just to get this work done. And we are happy to inform our customers that the main work has been completed. We are just waiting for the concrete works to cure, and afterwards, we will open the line. We are sorry for any inconvenience that the situation might have caused them. We are also happy that they have been patient with us all this while. And we are here to serve them. We do our best to serve them.
He spoke about alternative interventions during the period.
Did some interconnection work to be able to supply water to the low-lying areas. And then the low-pressure zone area, we supported with the tanker service.
The assemblyman for Eija Ketego, Divine Akumia Lati, commended the water company for their swift response. The Kumasi East manager of the water company, Asumeni Sepio, assured of uninterrupted supply.
We want to assure them that we will not interrupt the supply. They also try to assist us because when these things happened, we spent a lot, especially regarding the tankers. I mean, almost more than 100 and something trips that has been supplied. We are still continuing to supply them. So we are pleading with, especially the customers, those who are in arrears, that they try their best to settle their arrears so that we can get the work going.
Officials from the water company say they have supplied 106 trips of water to the affected communities for the past 1 month.
To some other stories now, a 4-seater sanitary facility has been constructed to discourage open defecation along the beach close to the Cape Coast Castle. The project, under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts and to be rolled out in other coastal communities, is to eliminate the shameful and unhygienic practice.
Open defecation around the Cape Coast and Elmina castles in the central region has assumed international attention and become a threat to the tourism industry. The castles remain the 2 UNESCO heritage sites in the region. However, its surroundings over the years have been polluted by acts of open defecation, a menace that has triggered sharp responses from the Tourism, Art and Culture Ministry and Traditional Authority. The sector ministry has set up a task force headed by workers of the Ghana Museum and Monuments Board to check the practice with a view to make the beaches clean to promote tourism.
We've also got the fishermen themselves, the leaders, to police the area. Anybody who is seen defecating will be caught.
The Omahini of the Gwa traditional area, Osaberima Kwesiata, said chiefs were committed to ending the menace as it had become a deeply worrying situation.
We've started tackling this problem. If you go to Victoria Park, to the right, about 20-30 meters, we've put up 4 Dingaloo toilets there. And we are going to put another 26, 30 in all, stretching from the whole coast of Cape Coast.
He gave an assurance the coastline along the castle will soon achieve an open defecation-free status with the construction of more sanitary facilities accessible to residents close by them, after which perpetrators who continue the act will be arrested and prosecuted.
Let's go to the health sector now, where persons with cerebral palsy in Ghana continue to battle with stigma, discrimination and misconception about the condition. To help shape perceptions about the condition, encourage social interaction as well as inspire confidence, the first superhero cartoon, Kamza, has been developed to change the face of the disability.
It's considered a neurological disorder caused by non-progressive brain injury that at times occur when the child's brain is being developed. The condition does not affect just the brain. Posture and body balancing are also affected. Society shows serious stigmatization towards persons living with the condition to the extent that some educational institutions reject children with mild to moderate cerebral palsy. Most mothers tend to suffer depression and other psychological related disorders due to lack of support systems.
Disabilities for some of us is a lifelong condition. So we shouldn't be ostracized because we have a disability. We should rather be welcome into the society. People should want to hang out with us. We are also human beings and we are capable of a lot of things. So it's about time we change the narrative on disability.
Children with disabilities are often portrayed or depicted in society as vulnerable, feeble and weak. But to change the negative mindset of the public, Kamza, the first superhero cartoon, has been developed by a Ghanaian software engineer, Farida Bedwe, with support from Letty Act.
Children are easily molded. You can influence them you can influence them quicker and easier. But if children grow up seeing somebody with cerebral palsy or any other disability for that matter, being able to rescue people, fighting and doing all those things that are attractive to children, they'll see it as being quote unquote cool to have a disability.
A mother of a child with cerebral palsy and founder of the Special Mothers Project, Hannah Awaji, bemoaned the absence of systematic data on cerebral palsy in Ghana.
If government is able to have a data, we can be able to formulate good policies that will support not just the children but their families.
Still in the health sector, child health care in Ghana has seen a boost with an increasing number of pediatric nurses. At the Pediatric Nurses Meeting Congress in Accra, Programs Manager of Sick Kids Pediatric Nursing, Grace Barnes, said this will ensure the survival of children in their first stages of life, reducing infant mortality.
An estimated 6.3 million children under age 15 died in 2017. 5.4 million of them were under the age of 5, and 2.5 million of those children died within the first month of life, which translates into 15,000 under 5 deaths per day. More than half of these early child deaths are due to conditions that could be prevented with access to simple, affordable interventions. The United Nations Millennium Development Goals (MDGs) galvanize the global community to improve child health. Ghana and partners have reduced under 5 child mortality from 128 per 1,000 live births in 1990 to 56 in 2014, an effort to reach MDG 4. In 2011, there were less than 5 nurses trained in pediatrics working in Ghana. Currently, there are more than 300 pediatric nurses across the country.
Every child is precious. They should handle them with care. If for any reason they think they are not confident or competent enough to handle a child, they should refer as early as possible so that the child gets the appropriate care.
The rector of the Ghana College of Nurses and Midwifery, Hannah Akwa, urged the pediatric nurses to make an impact on the lives of children and their families.
Children are our future as a nation, and we should do everything to make sure that they get the care that they need to be able to live to adulthood and be useful citizens of the country.
The theme for the Congress was promoting quality and efficient pediatric care, the role of the pediatric nurse.
Time now for a breather on News at 10. We're back shortly. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching News at 10 on TV3, also live on DSTV channel 279. Now, a drive-through most streets in the capital revealed most traffic lights are not working. The absence of working traffic light has made it increasingly difficult to use roads in the city, as many people have difficulty crossing the roads since drivers rarely stop for pedestrians. Here's a report by Gloria Asamoah-Ewusi.
Statistics from the MTTD revealed that 3,300 pedestrians knockdowns were recorded in the country last year, out of which 1,196 were recorded in Accra alone. Out of the knockdowns, 879 were killed, while 2,421 survived their injuries. At the Nongwa-Sakomone intersection, there are no traffic lights since the road's rehabilitation in 2014. Pedestrians, including school children, have a hard time crossing since drivers seldom slow down, let alone stop for them. Although the police from the MTTD are usually deployed during the rush hour, afterwards, pedestrians and other motorists are left at the mercy of the drivers. Thus, some road users say puts their lives in danger.
We need traffic lights to indicate the time each vehicle should pass.
Indicate so
We kwa say we so kwa say.
The traffic is always heavy here, especially in the afternoon.
The heavy-duty vehicles, amidst the confusions on the road, don't initiate curves properly.
Articulated cars often collide with each other.
They, however, want stakeholders in the road sector to scale up efforts in ensuring safety on our roads to prevent avoidable deaths.
Away from our roads, a total of 293 beneficiaries of the Youth in Afforestation program have been found to be working in other government institutions, including persons serving as national service personnel. Peter Kwao Adato reports 120 beneficiaries in the Seshiosa district were found to have presented fake appointment letters.
The Forestry Commission last year set out to recruit 15,000 youth to help prosecute an agenda of afforestation across the country. The exercise, however, attracted over 80,000 applicants, compelling the Commission to exceed its target. At least 25,371 youth were engaged as at September 12, 2018, to plant 25,000 hectares of forest plantation annually. The beneficiaries were clustered into 3 categories based on their educational qualification. Those with degrees were made supervisors, with HND holders as assistant supervisors, while WASI, BEC, and others are referred to as field staff. And this opened the floodgate for criminal elements to infiltrate.
And the breakdown is as follows. GSFP 1, LEAP 38, Ministry of Health 4, national service persons who have not completed their national service but decided to join the Youth in Afforestation program 154, teachers under SLTP 29 and other youth employment agency program 67.
Some beneficiaries also have fake appointment letters.
Some of the beneficiaries who claim they are graduates were asked to bring their certificate, be it degree or diploma. They refused. They were also asked to bring their national service certificate, which is a basic requirement for employment in all government agencies in this country. Some also refused.
At least 120 cases were found in the Seshioso district, and they were immediately sacked. Interestingly, the Forestry Commission has not taken any action against the persons involved in the criminal offense.
We are not taking up any legal actions against them because nobody has come to complain to us. So we want to leave it at that and then stick to our core business.
The Commission, however, says it will ensure that no one takes undue advantage of the opportunity created to cheat the system, adding only those who work will be paid at the end of the month.
So if you work for today and then tomorrow you stay at home, the next day you stay at home, go to work on the 4th day and expect to be paid, it will not be done because you haven't worked for 18 working days, which is the minimum number of days required.
Now, students of the Shia Technical Senior High School in the Volta region are conducting practical lessons under trees. Eva Atiboka reports 13 classes of the school study under trees.
The school lacks structures for classes. Sheds have been erected, but that is not enough. Classes are therefore shared. Teachers and students are compelled to study, despite interferences from other classes. Studying under trees means whenever the rain threatens, there would be no school. The school is admitting 200 freshers, and that appears to be the headache of the school authorities. Head teacher of the school, Joy Kwebu, says although 2 families have donated 200-acre land to the school, it is yet to be developed. Minister for Special Development Initiative Hawa Kumsin, on a tour to the coastal belt, visited the school.
I thought the era of schools under trees is a thing of the past because we were told schools were built and a whole lot. So I thought maybe it's the finishing of the classroom that we'll be doing by now. Little did I know that we still need classroom block for Shia Secondary School.
Hawa Kumsin is considering using part of the 1 million per constituency fund to address some of the challenges in the school.
Together with the MCE, and the staff with the development authority, that's the Coastal Development Authority, we're going to solve this problem. That is why the Ministry of Special Development Initiative is being created. And the 1 million to the constituency will now realize that it's good the president is fulfilling this promise.
Thank you very much. We are grateful. Your visit is going to yield a result. We believe it was God who brought you down here.
She again assured the teachers of a staff common room soon to facilitate their work. Meanwhile, the school is also benefiting from a solar-powered mechanized limited borehole under the 1 million per constituency fund.
And that's how we end tonight's edition of NEWSAT10 on TV3, which is also live on DSTV channel 279. My name is Grace Hamwa Sari. Many thanks for joining us. Good evening.